Hello everyone, I am Dr. Nalini Bansal and today we'll be discussing a case of colon biopsy from a 25-year-old male who presented with rectal bleeding. So these are the colon biopsy bits from the patient, and in these colon biopsy bits, so whenever we are getting a colon biopsy tissue, we are there to tell whether or not there are any features of chronicity that are evident on the biopsy tissue. So as we had discussed previously in the previous sessions, that in a colon biopsy, we are going to move from the surface epithelium downwards. We are going to see what are the problems that are present on the surface epithelium, if there are any. So whether the epithelium is regular or not, or there are any foci of ulceration. Now here, if you could see for these bits and this one also, the surface epithelium for the colonic epithelium is normally flattened. So you do not see any irregularity or any protrusion for a normal colonic epithelium. But here what we see is there is a significant surface epithelial abnormality, and some of them is showing protrusion like this. So this is definitely a protrusions which are coming on the surface, and these are even forming a villus-like protrusion at places. So this is a change that we could say is because of injury, and this epithelium is undergoing certain regenerative changes also. Now, in addition to the surface epithelial abnormality, the other thing that we are seeing on the surface is the presence of this ulcer slough. So there is abundant neutrophilic exudate on the surface. So definitely there are areas of ulceration like we could see here. So this is an area of ulceration which is covered by abundant neutrophilic exudate. We call it neutrophilic exudate because we see a predominance of polymorphs within the exudate. So the content of the ulcer is basically abundant of the polymorph. So we are seeing ulceration, we are seeing surface epithelial irregularity. So these are the two things. So based on these two things, can we say that this is a chronic disease? No, we cannot say that this is a chronic disease. To be synchronon for chronicity, there are three things that we should look for. So what are the features of chronicity? The features of chronicity are going to be your crypt architecture. So how is the crypt architecture like? Is this normal, or is this showing any significant distortion, or there are any areas of crypt loss? So what we are seeing here is there is a significant loss of the crypt. So normally in a colon biopsy, the crypts will be stacked parallel to each other, or if it in a cross section, they are very closely packed in the cross section. But here we see that most of the lamina propria is expanded by inflammatory infiltrate, and there is a significant loss of crypts, and many areas we do not see any crypt over there. So there is a loss of crypts, and this loss of crypts is also accompanied by the distortion of the crypt architecture. And why do we say that there is distortion? We say because we are seeing the crypts which are showing abnormal shapes. And what are abnormal shapes? So a normal crypt will be usually round shaped if it is in a cross section, or it will be longitudinal shape if it will be long, if it is tube like pattern, if it is a longitudinal cut section. But here what we are seeing is these are the crypts which are showing branching. We have crypts which are irregularly dilated, and there are other crypts which are showing abnormal shapes like this. So this is definitely a crypt architectural distortion, and these features in itself will tell you that these are the features of chronicity. So in addition to crypt architecture distortion, there are other features which will tell you that this is chronicity. And what are those features? The second feature of chronicity is the presence of basal plasmacytosis. And what is basal plasmacytosis? Like we had mentioned in the previous sessions for colon biopsy, that if you have a crypt, a normal crypt will reach up to the muscularis mucosa. So a crypt which is coming from the surface epithelium, it is normally reaching up to the muscularis mucosae fibers which are present there at the base of lamina propria. So if you have an area which is called as crypt shortening, so if the crypts are not reaching up to the muscularis mucosa, and rather they are shortened in size, and the area where they are shortened is filled with plasma cells. So if you see an area where you see shortening of the crypts, and the base of the crypt and the lamina propria is filled with plasma cells, so that is the area that is being called as basal plasmacytosis. And this is what a basal plasmacytosis is. It means the area between the crypt and the muscularis mucosa is being filled with the component of the plasma cells. It could be patchy in nature, or it could be uniform, where you see that there is a diffuse encroachment of the plasma cells between the base of the crypt and the muscularis mucosa. So this is what is called as basal plasmacytosis. And if you see basal plasmacytosis with crypt shortening, that is again a feature that will tell you that this feature is likely that of a chronic disease, and these are features of chronicity even if the patient is presenting for the first time to you. And the third feature of chronicity is the presence of Pennant cell metaplasia. So if you have any orangophilic neutrophilic cells which is lining is in these crypts, and these are seen from the rectal mucosa. So in a normal rectum, we do not find normally any Paneth cells, and if you're finding any Paneth cell within the crypts, that is also a feature of chronicity. So these are the three syncytial features that we are interested in when we are thinking of any chronic disease. So now for this biopsy, I would say that yes, definitely it is chronic, because we are seeing crypt architectural distortion, we are seeing areas of basal plasmacytosis, and there is a significant expansion of the lamina propria by the inflammatory infiltrate, which is predominantly lymphoplasmacytic, and in addition we are seeing the ulceration with neutrophilic exudate. And what do we see here? The thing that we are seeing here is a vegetable matter. So this is just a vegetable matter, and this is not any parasite that we are seeing on the surface. So once you know that the biopsy is showing features of chronicity, you can say that this is a case of chronic active colitis. So why do we say this is active? Because in addition to this chronicity feature, we are also seeing ulceration, and we are seeing polymorphs which are present within the lining epithelium. So there are features of activity because we are seeing polymorphs, like as we could see here. So these are foci of activity. So we say that this is chronic active colitis. Activity because we are seeing activity, and chronicity because we are seeing crypt architectural distortion and basal plasmacytosis. Even if the patient is presenting for the first time to you, and if you are saying that this feature is, and if you are identifying that there is chronicity on the biopsy, you are telling the clinician that this could be there could be a possibility of chronic active ulcerative colitis. Now there are different grading systems that are being used for chronic active ulcerative colitis, and there are over 30 systems which are being used by different people, and different grading systems have come up over several years. The commonest one which has come up recently is the Nancy system. Some people also use Gibbs score, but the Nancy system is easy to follow, and it says that if you have ulceration on the biopsy tissue, that is in itself a grade 4 of the chronic biopsy. So if you have ulceration, it is a grade 4, that is a severe activity of ulcerative colitis. And if you have activity, you call it whether it is mild or it is moderate. You call it moderate when you have more than 50% of the crypts are involved, and you call it mild when you have less than 50% crypts involvement. So based on your activity, then you call it as mild or moderate depending upon the number of crypts that are involved. And if you have an ulceration, you just call it as a severe activity. Now, if there is no activity and you are only finding features of chronicity, so suppose there is crypt architectural distortion, there is basal plasmacytosis, but you are not seeing increase in intraepithelial polymorphs, or there are foci of cryptitis or cryptepsis, then you say that there are no features of activity and it is a grade 0 or grade 1 by the Nancy's classification. So that is how you approach a case of chronic active colitis. The idea of your getting a biopsy and your help to the clinician will be only you telling the features that this is chronicity or it is not chronicity. So suppose I say that this is not chronicity and I do not find any features of chronicity here, I'll just say that this is active colitis, and then I will say what are the degree of activity that are being seen on the surface. So as we said that in addition to the areas of crypt loss, so we see areas of crypt loss here also, where the crypts are being replaced by inflammatory infiltrate, and in certain areas of crypt loss you will they'll also be accompanied by crypt shortening. So like for this here, you see the surface epithelium, but you do not find any crypt here. So there is a significant amount of crypt loss. And in addition, you are also seeing certain areas which are showing duplication of the muscularis mucosa. So this is just a regenerative phenomena that is happening secondary to the areas of damage which is occurring on the crypt epithelium. So that is how we are going to approach a case of chronic colitis, and that is how we are going to say that features of chronicity are present or not. Thank you so much for your patient hearing, and we'll be meeting in another session on the colon biopsy. So thank you all.